What's up, everybody? Ty Bartell in with another edition of Coach's Corner. This time we head to our friends over in Soup City, home of the Campbell Memorial Red Devils. Baseball coach Ken Tirpak joining me today. Coach, how we doing?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm not doing too bad, and I know you guys both on both Diamond Sports are really loving the weather that we've had for the majority of these last couple weeks. I know you guys have been able to get outside for the most part. How's that been like? How's morale been with the team with that?
It's very pleasant to be out there. Believe me, kids get tired of being inside. I get it. There's not a lot we could do out there or inside the gym. Excuse me, but we went outside a couple weeks ago. It was about 40 degrees, just for an hour to kind of get them used to the elements a little bit because there's possibly a good chance with this area we're going to be playing in some of that weather. So we did that a little bit. We're going outside again today. Getting ready for a couple scrimmages we have coming up, but everybody's been bouncing around in practice. It's a good thing to see.
Going through the roster a little bit and the sort of meet the team segment, kind of highlight some of the players that are going to be ones to watch this season too, and who's making an impact early on in your eyes.
Well, we had some late additions within the last couple weeks. So with basketball going into the regionals, we had 4 coming from there, and then a couple other guys, came out, about a week late. So we're trying to basically just get them in shape, mainly their arms more than anything else. Baseball skills with the basketball guys, it's kind of more refresher for them. We do have a new one. He has come along, really, really well the last couple of weeks. It's pretty much the same with most of our guys, and we have, like I said, 7 seniors. Experience-wise, I'd probably say our infield is probably the strongest that I feel right now. I think the more games we play and more practices we get, everyone's going to kind of get more comfortable and acclimated to what we're trying to do. More importantly, to get comfortable on the field. I'm not a big person that puts a lot of pressure on the kids. I just ask them to, hustle and don't pout. No pouting. I try to make it fun. I try to make it comfortable for them in practice, so there's no shock in the game, because there's going to be that tension anyway when you're playing at this age, these kids. So I try as much as I can to keep them as loose as possible.
I know baseball has been a large part of your life for a long time in your life too. Talk to me about just how the experiences of the game too, from a player to has helped kind of shape your coaching method and mentality.
It kind of relates to what I was just saying. I ask them to work hard. I always try to have fun in practice, so get their work done, and then we try to do something for them to have some fun. I've played for different coaches in the past. Some a little harder than others. I'm not gonna lie, but you learn from that. You learn what you want to do. You learn what you don't want to do. And you learn how to get across to different kids. That's the main thing, because there's different personalities, 18 different personalities. So one thing I learned I try to do every day is I try to treat everybody differently. You start treating kids the same, you're going to lose some. And it's just how I feel is the best way to kind of build camaraderie. And more so, just get the kids to trust you. Because once they trust you, they'll work hard and do what you want.
I know you look to be a great leader for this team and for the community as well. Who were some coaches that kind of helped influence you? Because I know you've been blessed to have the opportunity to pick the brain of a lot of great minds in the game.
Well, it started in high school. My high school coach, Wayne Zetz, I really learned a lot from him. I learned how to play hard and focus on what I want. And then kind of how he done things here when I was in high school. When I got to college, it was kind of the same thing. They were both types of coaches that wanted you to be mentally tough, get your work in, but more mentally tough and deal with adversity. So those two, Bob Todd was my college coach at Ohio State. But, it was weird. Like, you go through that. And then when I got into pro ball, it really wasn't that difficult for me, more than just playing 140 games a year. I was very lucky to be around some pretty good managers and bench coaches when I was in pro ball. I kind of take a little bit of everything that I've learned from those guys, and I try to apply it to these kids now. Mainly just trying to, because I was a little hyper when I played, and I get like that during games sometimes. And I try to tell the kids, like, sometimes just don't listen to me, just let me be, to get out of my system. But I've learned that, like I said, you just can't be like that all the time, because you got to keep these kids focused, and the personalities are different. So it's kind of a blend of a lot of people that I've been fortunate enough and blessed enough in my life to deal with and be involved with.
When you talk about this team this year in particular, what would you kind of describe the identity that you guys are going to have, the strengths you're going to play to get your wins?
Um, as of now, I'm really, really comfortable with our infield. We do have some new positions and competition going on in the outfield. One thing about our infield, the kids are pretty versatile. You know, they could play all four positions because, you know, some are going to have to pitch, some are going to have to go play first, some are going to have to go play third, short, and second. So I'm trying to get them just to get comfortable just a little bit at each position, just in case you got to do something that you're not used to or haven't done in the past, just if we need you for an inning or two. Uh, Bobby Ramirez is probably going to be starting behind the plate for us. We lost senior last year for graduation, and he played a lot of second base, so he has a lot of, you know, game experience, you know, under his belt, which is good. So I'm pretty solid on the infield. I think overall the outfield is going to eventually come along. We have a lot of guys out there, and a lot of guys are competing. I try to play everybody, you know, all the time. It's just, you know, now I want them to compete and earn their positions right now.
You've gotten that opportunity to work different kind of roles within baseball in general too, and have a lot of different titles from high school when you participated to coaching high school now. Do you see any kind of differences in the game and the processes, the way it's approached? What kind of differences are there? Any differences that you can see?
Whoa. If you watch baseball, there's a lot of strikeouts now going on in Major League Baseball. That was kind of a no-no back in the day. Like, you got to work to put the ball in play. These guys, you know, hey, they're talented enough. They made it. You know, God bless them. But, I watch games and they just strike out like it's going out of style. And more so, you know, these guys, these pitchers now, just got these power arms and power sliders and sinkers. It's insane. And it would definitely be a challenge playing now than probably back then, because, you know, we didn't have a lot of guys back then throwing 99 to 102. I just saw a clip yesterday. I think it was a guy for the Angels throwing 104 in spring training. I was like, geez, oh man, like what's going on already with these guys? But it's still the same game. You know, it just kind of evolved over time, like any other sport. I think a lot of guys are chasing the power. These guys are bigger and stronger now. They're faster now, you know, and that's what the game is. The batting averages kind of suffered a little bit, but you know what? It's still fun to watch those guys play. You know, a lot of people don't realize, like, they play so many games, they look like they're loafing a lot. And I try to tell kids, you know, they this is bad to say, but you know, you got to pick your poison when you're exerting yourself. You know, because you play 162 games, they look like they're not interested. They look like they're bored, but there's a lot of mental toughness up there, and they're competing because those are their jobs, and they get to the playoffs, they earn more money for playoff money, World Series money, and all that stuff. So it's the mental thing. You know, it's just this, you know, probably the same thing, but it's just the physical attributes of all these players now. It's just crazy.
Kind of bridging into my next question too, and talking about the mental aspect, is there excitement? Is there a challenge aspect because you guys moved to the other side of the MVAC now, conference wise? So the schedule looks a little bit different too, and the opponents you play are a little bit different in the schedule. How's that kind of amongst team morale too? Is there a lot of excitement around that?
Yeah, kids are ready to go. They really are. I know the couple of basketball guys were ready. You know, as soon as they got done playing, gave them a few days off, obviously, to just get their bearings straight. But you know, morale's good. Guys are working hard at practice. Uh, Conference wise, I don't really, unfortunately, I don't know any of the teams because we haven't really played them. Uh, Lowville, we played maybe 2-3 years ago when I was assistant, and Springfield, I probably the closest I would know to any of the ways that they do things on the field because I coach Somerville, Terry Dobson, so I know he's always going to have a good team. And just what I hear, you know, it's a, you know, top to bottom pretty good conference. There's pretty good pitching in the conference, so it's definitely gonna be a challenge for us for sure. We just have to learn how to play for 2 hours. I tell them all the time, you know, just 120 minutes in your mind. You just focus for 120 minutes and let your talent take care of itself.
Do you see it as a benefit adding these guys that had a successful basketball season be able to hoist a district championship trophy? Do you think that do you see that as a benefit to help this team now be able to maybe achieve some of their goals?
Oh, absolutely, because Sway Rodriguez, he's going to be playing. This is his fourth year of varsity. He's definitely had enough experience in basketball and winning in basketball, so he has that culture with him with hoops, and he's bringing it over with our team. Um, Same thing to Jared Cologne, the other guard for us for basketball. He's a senior as well. He's going to be doing the same thing, infield pitch. Um, Bobby Ramirez he's a junior. Like I said, he's going to be catching, but he's been on the basketball team for a couple years, and I just think with those guys and the kids on our team that didn't play, I think they just saw what it's like to win on the court, and I think they really want to get to that point and take another step more than we did last year.
Coach, I also like to give you the opportunity to shout out your coaching staff and some other big names in the program that kind of help solidify the program and make it go.
Well, man, those guys. Oh, I'm lucky. I got. It ain't just me, believe me. I got Benji Santiago, who's been a head coach in the past. Josh Tedesco, he's going to do it with our pitching. Nick Miko does the catching, and I'll field work a little bit. And then Colin Michaels, who played a couple years when I was helping out when I was assistant here. He handles like a lot of the first baseman and the outfield stuff. But those guys work. We all get along. Like it's crazy having guys on the same page like that. And I just think like back in the past when I retired and even when I was playing pro ball, I'd come to practice with the high school team when Wayne Zetz was coaching, and just the excitement of those guys and seeing the banners up in our gym. That's what I want to get these kids back to. I'm going to work hard. We're all working hard on. We want them to just believe that they could do it, believe that they could just take one game at a time. And I just think all that experience here and winning in the past, we're really trying to get that focus on these kids to not be afraid to take that step and try to hang one themselves.
I've gotten the opportunity to see the way that this community supports the basketball team and the way they support their teams in general too, especially when they can get a winner behind them too. Can you describe how special this Campbell community is too for the school and the Red Devils? And also with that, shout out your first game and let them know where they could see you.
Oh yeah, the community's great. I mean, the support around town. Me and my coaches don't talk about it really that much. Just I see it a lot when I go out and raise money for fundraisers. There's a lot of support out there, and it just really means a lot, at least to me, because like I said, we want this school and we want these kids to win. We want the school to do well and the kids to do well, and it's just I don't know. I just hope we have some success and keep getting that support that really helps motivate our kids. And our first game will be March 28th. I looked at the weather. Man, I don't know. It's
Northeast Ohio, being Northeast Ohio, huh?
My phone only got till Thursday, so I don't know. Maybe something will change by tomorrow, next Friday. But it's at Brookfield Park against Brookfield.
Well, Coach, we wish you the best of luck this season. Hopefully, weather holds through for us too. But until then, too, we wish you the best of luck on the diamond this season, and we'll be catching you around there real soon.
All right, thank you so much, Ty. Appreciate it.